This is Gondwa, over 65 million years ago. This immense piece of land is home to numerous species of plants and animals that roam the earth, air, and water, each leaving behind a trace of their passage that will mark time. This rocky area in particular has a large lake flowing down the walls, forming several waterfalls. And where there's water means life. And this one is no exception. As the sun gradually rises, bathing the surface in a warm, golden glow, one individual is already awake, looking for his breakfast. This is Pico, a Rhamphorhynchus. This little dinosaur is a member of the pterosaurs and one of the closest ancestors of our modern birds. The species name means beak snout. Equipped with 2 wings that enable it to both fly and swim, and using its long tail as a rudder, it is an agile pterosaur, capable of catching many fish in lakes, rivers, and seas. To begin with, Pico swoops straight into the water to enter the deep end with momentum. His long, pointed beak, equipped with multiple sharp teeth, enables him to catch fish that pass within reach, while his webbed feet and wings propel him. But, well, Pico isn't the most agile of his kind. Pico is a young adult male who has potentially lost his colony or become emancipated. Rhamphorhynchus have many lifestyles. Most of the time, they live in large groups, but some find themselves wandering alone, either voluntarily or accidentally. After numerous trials, Pico finally manages to catch something. And he will continue to fish several more times during the day due to his fast metabolism. This large lake is home to more than just fish, including this Rhamphorhynchus. Another species has also settled here. One of the largest feathered dinosaurs ever discovered, a true predator with fearsome claws. Its name literally means feathered tyrant. Here's a family of Yutyrannus. These two parents decided to set up their nest near this watering hole, sheltered by the surrounding rock walls. Their offspring are only a few weeks old, with the exception of one of them, a youngster from the previous litter who often wanders off the nest. The father, with his black plumage striped with a few white lines, is named Obsidian, while the female, with her lighter, almost pinkish coat, is called Sakura. For the moment, these little Yutyrannus are juveniles. Their plumage still displays dull colors, which are only temporary, camouflaging them in the vegetation. They're very curious, playful, and exploratory, bickering with their siblings under adult supervision. Yutyrannus function in a similar way to wolves. Their pack is actually a family, made up of two ruling parents. Their litters grow up, help the pack, and disperse when they're ready to set off on their own. While Obsidian rests, Sakura regularly checks on the safety of their offspring, patrolling the nest. The day passed very quickly for Pico, who had to get busy fishing. The sun sets over the horizon as it passes over the Yutyrannus nest, intriguing the youngest. One of them decides to go and see what this strange volatile is, which screams very loudly for its small size. Pico is not impressed, only disturbed and curious himself. What are these strange, large volatiles that don't even fly? The juveniles settle comfortably near a pile of wood set up by the parents, forming a cover, intending to sleep after these exhausting explorations. If only they could sleep. Pico, who has been bored alone all day, has finally found something to do. Watch them and show off. He inspects the stacked pieces of wood, wondering what this strange type of tree is all about. Pico decides to land in a tree of his choice, taking time to reflect. A tree close enough to be able to spy on this family. Even in the middle of the night, juveniles regularly wake up to eat or play. One of them even wanders away from the nest, interested in Pico, who has decided to go for a drink. But he can't find it, as Pico has already flown away. He returned to his parents, fortunately unharmed. At the same time, the big brother out of the nest came back, greeting the pack. The big brother's name is Achelon. Right now, he's inviting his little siblings to play. Noisy, restless play wakes everyone up, and parents begin to keep a very watchful eye. Because this game isn't just a little squabble. It's a game that can be brutal. In this game, Yutyrannus use their teeth to deliver small bites, a game that may seem violent, made to train youngsters to fight. Sakura and Obsidian are careful not to let this game get out of control. Sometimes this leads to serious injuries. If left unchecked, some weaker juveniles can die. One of the juveniles was injured. The parents comfort him while the game is over. Achelon pretends to submit and lose to boost his siblings' confidence. In a pack of Yutyrannus, fighting is a sign of honor and generally improves relations between them, strengthening the bond that unites them and is vital to their survival. The sun gradually rises into the sky, giving the rocky peaks an amber color that contrasts with the still blue sky. Screams ring out, shattering the silence that usually pervades this lake. A stranger has arrived on the outskirts of the nest, a young male Allosaurus. Immediately, the older Yutyrannus set off in pursuit to defend their litter. The fight is now engaged. What this young Allosaurus doesn't know yet is that he's engaged in a fight he can't win. Alone against 3 tyrants, he's woefully inexperienced. A single mistake can cost anyone their life, but that life is not lost, as it will be used to feed the whole family. Hoping to salvage a piece of the body easily, Pico waits his turn at the top of a rock. Unfortunately for him, the young Yutyrannus grow and feed on larger quantities. There's nothing left of the young Allosaurus, far from enough for them. It's time for the Yutyrannus family to move on. As summer sets in, the juveniles get taller, gradually losing their childlike plumage and having to eat more and more to ensure their proper growth. The family can no longer find enough food near the nest. Yutyrannus usually have a huge territory and can travel several dozen kilometers a day. For these juveniles, it's the first time they'll be venturing so far from their nest and discovering the outside world. Pico chose to follow them. Perhaps they'll leave other carcasses behind. Besides, they're interesting, aren't they? After several hours of walking, they finally arrived at their destination, the Great Plains. These vast moors of lush grasses are perfumed with the sweet scent of flowers and honey, a place that usually attracts many herbivores at this time of year. It is in the hope of finding some prey that Obsidian and Sakura have brought the pack here. But if this place attracts herbivores, it also attracts lots of sharp teeth. Here's a female Giganotosaurus, one of the largest land carnivores of all time, bigger and heavier than the famous Tyrannosaurus rex or its cousin Allosaurus. This female is smaller than a male, but the encounter with the Yutyrannus was inevitable, and Yutyrannus are extremely territorial, even towards larger carnivores. There's a reason they're called feathered tyrants. Even a Giganotosaurus knows it has little chance against a pack of Yutyrannus. This female starts running in the opposite direction. A titan has fallen today, but that's just the sad fate that life sometimes has in store. The Yutyrannus celebrate their victory with a delicious, well-deserved meal. Pico takes the opportunity to sneak in and steal a few pieces of the carcass under the bored gaze of the Yutyrannus, who are trying to protect their booty. And it was after this event that our little Rhamphorhynchus decided to leave, to find other dinosaurs to follow, or perhaps even a colony or mate. Meanwhile, our Yutyrannus family will continue to expand, each cycle repeating itself. Juveniles will catch their final colors, and in turn, help the pack and the new youngsters. But before that time comes, they still have a lot to learn. Gondwa teaches us essential things about life. Every being counts, from the smallest drop of water to the tallest tree, from the most discreet creatures to the greatest tyrants ever to walk the earth. Life is precious, fragile, and ephemeral, but it always finds its way. In this documentary series, you'll discover the path of Titans,